All right, we here. We on live, bro.
What's good? How you feeling? Puzzle? How you doing today?
Hey, man, I'm feeling great, man. Just a little election fatigue, I would say. I'm tired of seeing the same numbers up on the screen. You know what I'm saying, for days.
I feel that, man. Like it's the weekend. I think everybody is just ready for this thing to be called. Ready to decompress. That's why I got my tea. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's your tea game like? You know what I'm saying? Like as an adult, I feel like you're not a real adult unless you got a mean tea game or a mean coffee game, one or the other. Or
Right.
like me, master both. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Nah, man, I'm definitely a tea guy. I'm a coffee guy too, but I'm an iced coffee guy, man. I'm a little weird. I even drink iced coffee in the winter. You know what I mean? I know that's weird. I know. But nah, my tea game though is green tea. I like black tea too, but green tea is like my thing. That's my kick. With a little bit of honey, I'm good to go.
Yeah, I feel that, get green tea when you about business mode. Right now we on black mode, so get you a little bit of black tea, you be all right. You know what I'm saying? Right now, to me, since it's decompressed, you know what I'm saying? Don't laugh, but this is a mango fruit passion tea. Yeah, yeah,
Mango fruit passion.
yeah,
I
yeah. With a little bit of CBD in it, you know what I'm saying?
okay.
Just relaxation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Calm the nerves just a little bit. I
Yeah,
got you.
need it after this week. Need it
Yeah,
after this week, right?
yeah. You do. For real, man. Well, everybody, we got a couple people viewing right now. This is the weekly smoke. You got Always Conscious with Corey Shaw here, my co-host here. Go ahead and let them know who you are.
I mean Shaw, or if you see it on the screen, say what I mean. That's my show. For those of you that don't know about it, which is most, don't forget to subscribe to that YouTube channel too. Say what I mean, YouTube channel. I do what I do on there.
For real, for real. All right, man. We're on here. We're doing a pre. This is what we call a pre-weekly smoke. Definitely, in the comment section, I'll drop. I'll drop in a little bit like our channel. We have a channel that we came together to do, the Black Collaborative channel. Please like, subscribe that channel. We're going to be dropping shows on there. We're going to be dropping mad knowledge on there. And then on Fridays, we're going to have a kickback with other hosts. And like Amin has his tea, I started to grab some wine. I was like, nah, I might fall asleep, a little busy. But anyways, this is our kickback, our weekly smoke, where we just chop it up, at the end of the week. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it to my man Amin right here, man. What's our first topic we're gonna get into, bro?
Man, we might as well get straight to the point. You want to get straight to it?
Let's go. What's up?
Yeah, let's talk about what everybody is talking about right now. So, what's your feelings right now on this election? It's not officially called, but it looking like it's going into a certain direction right now, especially with Biden taking the lead in Georgia and Pennsylvania. They about to do the recount of Georgia. So, are you nervous at all that Trump somehow could pull this off? What's your feelings?
Nah, he's done. He's done. They're just prolonging this. Like, part of me is like, is it the media that wanted this extra attention? Because I'm looking at CNN. You got Wolf Blitzer and everybody. They're pulling almost all nighters out here, just ready for that breaking news. So I just think it's part of the game right now. But I also think they know that Trump is going to like sue and go hard. So no state want to get caught up. So people are being extra careful before they call the races. But I really think it's done.
I do too. I thought it was done on election night too, because I actually read about the red wave, and the red wave was because there were so many mail-in ballots this election that on election night it was going to look like Trump was doing better than he actually was, because he encouraged all his supporters to actually go to the polls,
Right.
and he really discouraged them from doing any mail-in ballots.
Yep.
So that's why you had what we had on election night, and you saw it went the opposite way in Florida, where Biden was up. by a big lead because they counted mail-in ballots first, and then
Yep.
the in-person was all Trump, and other states was the opposite way around. But I was pretty calm the whole way. On election night, what was your feelings? Were you kind of panicked, or were you more in the mind frame that Biden was going to catch up, or were you like, it doesn't matter to me which one of these old white men get elected?
You know my feelings. I'm definitely the latter. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. Well, let me take that back. The country, I don't think, could survive another 4 years of Trump, right? As a whole. Something's going to come to a whole. But to me personally, I really, it didn't matter for me. I got out there and vote. I voted, but, for the people. But other than that, I feel like our issues are so like just real right now that we need to take a step back and really get on. I keep saying we got to get on one code and keep talking about the things that we need to do to affect our own community right now, kind of clean our house up a little bit, and like really, really focus on, the next election and the next round of people coming out and making sure they really have our best interests at heart. But like for being shook, like nah, like it was like now one thing that I'm not saying I was happy about it, but um, Trump showed once again that exit polls, these polls that they do, don't matter, right? Like not when it comes to someone like him, because people are not going to be truthful about who they're voting for. They're not going to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go vote for Trump. You know what I'm saying? They're going to tell you whatever, whatever. But when they get in that booth, you don't know how they're voting. You know what I mean? And I think that was the big eye opener for me. And then also too, for many of us to see like how many people who did vote for him, how many of our issues really don't matter. Because a vote for him was really against, I think, us, like for real, for real. Even the crazies who voted for him, but it was against us. And to see how many people still voted for him with COVID and all of that should let you know something. Like something's up there.
Yeah.
That's
One
my
of
thing,
the
bro. What about you?
yeah, one of the things I'm glad you brought up the polls because um, I actually don't think the polls was as inaccurate as people are saying. Let's go back to 2016, right? The polls had the election pretty close between Clinton and Trump. You got to remember, most of these polls have a margin of error of 4 to 5 points. So 4 to 5 points can go in either direction. And what the polls was saying that Hillary had a lead nationally, which was true because she won the popular vote by over 3 million votes. Now, where where the polls messed up a little bit was in the swing states. But again, it was in the margin of error in most of these swing states. Now, I'll say that the polls was a little bit more off this cycle, but I remember looking at real clear politics and looking at some of the polls that was coming out right before the election. Yes, Biden had a huge lead nationally, but in a lot of the swing states, depending on what polling company did it, it was a lot tighter in the swing states than it was nationally. And that's why I was saying, because I know you watched some of my videos, that's why I kept telling people that Trump had a chance to win, because unfortunately, we don't live in a rational system where whoever get the most votes win. We live in this outdated system that was really designed for slave masters and rich white men with the electoral college, which is a shame that we don't have more conversations about getting rid of this system, because what it does, it keeps a certain fashion in power.
Yep.
And that's what it does. That's what it's designed to do. And, people are scared to speak on it. That's one thing. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. 100%. What's up, bro? What's next?
Yeah, yeah. So it looks like, and I just did a video on this, right? So what it looks like, we're gonna have a President Biden and probably a Republican Senate. Is not guaranteed now because um, Democrats have 46 senators, and then there's 2 independents. You got Angus King up there in, I believe, Maine, and then you have Bernie Sanders, who's an independent, both caucus with Democrat. So it's 48 Democrats in the Senate, basically. And it's a possibility they could get the 2 special elections in Georgia because both Georgia Senate seats was up this cycle. One was a special election. And Georgia have a law, if you don't get above 50%, it goes to a runoff. So both of those U.S. Senate seats is going to go to a runoff in January. So if both Democrats win, it'd be 50-50. And then technically the vice president is president of the Senate, and Kamala Harris would be the tiebreaker in the Senate if it's 50-50. So it is a possibility the Democrats could control the Senate, but I don't know if you're going to get the turnout in a January election, especially people know Trump is on the way out, and a lot of times people get election fatigue. So I wouldn't bank on Democrats getting both seats, which they need. Now, so if you have a President Biden and a Republican-controlled Senate, what realistically do you think could be done in the next 4 years?
I mean, I don't know. And the reason why I'm in South Carolina, and I would say that Lindsey Graham is there, and Lindsey Graham that went off the rails. So I don't know what Congress post Trump will be there. I don't know if this is going to be the same Obama obstructionist. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to let anything pass, or people are going to wake up and say that we need to do some healing in this country. It's going to be interesting to see the tone of these politicians after Trump number one, it's announced that he's lost. And number two, just as we move on, it's going to be interesting to see which path they take, because they really could take the healing path, which I'm nervous that they won't, because a lot of the Trump supporters, which is a lot of their base, I feel will push against that. So I'm thinking that Biden may get a lot of obstruction, especially since there's this narrative right now that Trump is pushing that the election is rigged. You know what I mean? So it's just going to be interesting to see what type of energy the Republicans going to give. It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. It can go one or two ways. They could try and move away from Trump, and I wouldn't let them do that because y'all co-signed basically everything he did. It does no good to talk shit about him behind his back and don't say it to the public and vote for him over 90% of the time. Most of these Republican senators voted with Trump 95, 96% of the time. So that really does the public no good. But I think it's more than likely that they will obstruct because the strategy have worked so far.
Right.
They were able to still Supreme Court justice seats. They was able to put so many extreme right-wing judges into the two lower courts, which we don't talk about enough. This is a crazy stat for y'all, right? Because most cases don't get to the Supreme Court. Most goes to the Court of Appeals, and before that, the Circuit Court, right? There is 792 federal judges.
Yeah.
All those 792, Trump have appointed 194.
Yeah.
That's almost 25%. Why? Because they obstructed the whole time Obama was in office and didn't let him appoint judges. And now, this might seem real wonky to some people, but why does that matter? Let's just say we are trying to pass a Black agenda. We get our stuff together, and we pass some good legislation to help our people. What if that goes to court? What if it goes to one of these right-wing extreme judges and they shoot it down? This is what people don't think about. And this is the reason why I voted for Biden, even though I think he's an F-boy, to be honest. mainly because of the judge situation. Now, you might say he won't be able to appoint any judges through a Republican Senate. True. But at least we can stop the bleeding of these right-wing extremists getting on the court.
Right.
You know.
No. Yeah.
Yep. And one other thing I want to mention, and I did a video today about this. We shouldn't give Biden any excuses, right? Yes, there's a Republican-controlled Senate, but there's a number of different things he could do with executive orders. There's a number of different things he could do by putting competent people in his cabinet, especially with the DOJ, especially with Health and Human Services and FDA. You can do stuff like begin the process of moving marijuana from a Schedule One drug. You can continue to pardon non-violent drug offenders that on a federal level. You can't really do it in the state level, but you can do it at the federal level. You can in federal private prisons, as President Obama signed that before he got out of office. Trump rescinded that, but he can do that. And he better do that because the prison industrial complex, he had a major role in it with his get tough on drug push in the 80s and his signing of the 94 crime bill, which gave states money to build new prisons. So he better damn well do something to dismantle his mess in the first place. But I want to ask you a specific question, right? When we can't just beg these politicians to create policies for us, right? We have to come with a specific agenda and make them do it. We got to keep our foot on their neck. So, what if you had to narrow it down to one policy? I know this is hard. If we put all our energy to get one policy passed over these next couple years, what would that be?
Ooh, that's a tough one. But if I had to come off head, man, I'm split between these two. But I really think that I really think like where we at right now in the situation we're in, my top two, and I'm breaking the rules. My top two would be an economic plan first, and then an education plan second, because both of them are really affecting us. But if I had to choose to narrow it down, I would have to say an economic plan. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we need to kind of rebuild the infrastructure when it comes to solid foundations within our community financially. And even a lot of our local, and I talk about this a lot of our local community centers and things of that nature, they need help. We need funds really going to the grassroots level so we can really start building small businesses. Because, you and I, we've even talked about it, like the whole loan process and all of that credit stuff and financial stuff, it doesn't work for us. It works for our community as a whole. So we would definitely need to focus on some economic policy to get some capital there, so we can start building and lending and really working on our structure economically.
Yeah, I would agree with you too. Education is very important, but we run into some roadblocks with education on the federal level because education is really controlled by the state and local governments for the most part. Yes, the federal government can do incentives like No Child Left Behind or Race to the Top, but which neither one of these programs work at all. But it's a you run into roadblocks of what you try to do with on the federal level. Because I remember part of the stimulus bill Obama wanted to do in like '09 when he first got in, he was trying to get some money to build schools or to remodel some schools, and specifically in South Carolina, because that was one of his campaign promises that he stopped with.
Yeah,
The Republicans, yep, the Republicans stopped that from happening. They said no. They said that the federal government really don't have a role in doing that, and they blocked that. So I don't know. I need to do more research on it. Maybe but what can the federal government actually do when it comes to education? I don't mean higher education because too often I feel like progressives and liberals focus on college, not and with us, a lot of our children get caught in the pipeline before they even reach that level. What can the federal government do to help that?
I mean, that's tough because, like you said, a lot of it goes on state. Uh, Education is a different beast because it really is driven by the state. The states, I really don't think the federal government can really do too much. And the reason why is because each state has what they call each state have their own standards, right? So that's number one. Most states do abide by Common Core, but like in South Carolina, we don't. We have SC ready standards, right? So I don't think there's anything the federal government can really do, honestly, when it comes to education. I think that's going to be truly another grassroots issues within the communities within these states. You get what I'm saying? Like
Mm,
really educating our parents. Now that could be happening. Maybe the federal government can provide some really good, and I know it's anti-order, but some people who understand the law, understand how parents can be more engaged, how the community can be more engaged, and really educate parents on their power. But that would undercut the state. I don't see that really happening. But that's the only thing I really see. Like funding actual groups to go in and educate parents and teach them how to have their power. You know what I mean? Like
right,
that's the only thing I see.
right.
There's a
Um,
reason why none of these federal programs have ever worked. There's a reason why.
Gotcha. So you said you would want to focus on an economic agenda.
Yeah.
Um, there's so many different things when it comes to economic agenda, and at least we starting to get on the same page with reparations. I see
Right.
more and more people starting to support that, which is good, which is definitely good. But we kind of got to get beyond just cut the check, um, because a lot of people don't even know what that means, or they're gonna play stupid. Like, oh, I don't know what that means when they do know what it means.
Right.
So um, it's a positive that at least people is getting that far with cut the check, which it definitely need to be cut. Um, but realistically, over the next 4 years, on a federal level, now on a state level, California just passed a bill for a study. Now you start to see people go in um, on state and local level, and I believe in Asheville, North Carolina, a reparations bill just got passed there for the citizens there as well. So a movement on local and state level can happen, but federally, since we talking about federal elections this week, um, what economic policy would you focus on first? And just saying, all right, Biden administration, this is what you need to do right now.
I would focus on black small businesses. I would focus on small businesses. I would focus on black, and I'm saying we're talking about in reference to our community, by the way. Then I would focus on black-led nonprofit organizations. Those would be the areas because those are the organizations and the groups that can create jobs for people within our communities. Like that's what I would do right now. And
Yeah,
being that we are suffering from the highest unemployment rate of any group of people.
I concur. I co-sign that 100% because most of the jobs are created in this country by small businesses, and the fact that we don't have enough Black small businesses is one of the reasons why our unemployment rate is higher, along with other reasons as well. But that's one of the main things. That's one of the reasons why uh, white a white person with a high school degree can got the same shot at getting a job as a black person with a college degree, with a bachelor's degree.
Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
Partly because we don't own enough. We not at least in high enough numbers in these higher management positions to make these decisions too.
Right.
And unfortunately, some of us that get there kind of, for lack of a better word, act brand new sometimes when we get to those positions as well. Um, so yes, I would definitely focus on that. My idea is money need to flow into black banks. Um, Definitely need to flow into black banks so we can actually get access to capital. Because
Yes.
one of the reasons why a lot of black small businesses fail, a lot of black small businesses are cash strapped.
Yeah.
Since we don't get the same loan opportunities, a lot of us is starting businesses on a shoestring budget, using credit cards, getting ourselves in crazy debt, messing up our credit, um, just because we don't have the access to capital as our white counterparts. So a plan for that need to happen now, and they have to realize too, black banks not everywhere. Yes, fund some black banks, but it's going to have to be some other stuff too in your local city or town. The Small Business Administration need to be able to help out with that too. So we need to be able to SBA, or like you said, funding of nonprofits to help get this capital to these businesses, along with training on actually how to start the business and a little bit of help when it comes to that aspect as well. And
Yeah. No. Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
just one more thing too with that, we have to have some type of mechanism to enforce this. And the reason why I say that, um, most cities and states, and the federal government, well, I won't say the federal government. I just speak for New York State, right? A certain percentage of the contracts was supposed to go to minority-owned businesses for the government. It never reached. It's never reached at all. And that's another thing too. When we talk about it, we got to make sure they don't say minority. It's specifically black too, because they will say minority. No, our community have. I'm not just in any other quote unquote minority community. Have no malice towards them, and I hope they get theirs too. But we need to get ours. We need to focus on ours
Yeah.
specifically because we have specific problems. So we got to make sure it's specifically black, and there's some type of mechanism where we can monitor progress and make sure the money gets to the proper place. And it's not
Yep.
like a stimulus bill that passed where the small businesses didn't get the money at all and all went to the big corporations.
Yep. Yep. Facts. Yep. Yep. So I would say here's our let me have uh our closeout question right here. I know we got like 2 minutes left, but you know what I'm saying, get away from politics a little bit. What you gotta kind of go like I really want the people to kind of feel who you are, feel who I am. When it comes to hip hop, bro, what do you think is the greatest album of all time? I know it's hard, but what's your number one go to when I listen to this? I'm popping this in, and like it takes me somewhere, bro.
Damn, man. I can't name just one. That's
I
impossible for
gotta
me.
name one, bro.
Yeah,
That's why this is a closeout question here for the
uh,
weekly smoke.
I don't know if I can name one, man, one album. Yeah, you know what? It would depend. The reason why I can't name one, it would depend on what mood I'm in.
Okay,
Because
there
depending
you
on what
go.
mood I'm in, it could be a Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z first classic album, um, or it could be Stillmatic just because for personal reasons. I was came out my senior year in high school, and then the year after that I went to the Air Force. I was playing that heavy after basic training. Um, now basically put me in that mood, especially when I was in the place I didn't want to be.
Right.
Damn, that's too hard because I can name about 20, 30 other albums.
Yeah. Whoa. All right, so this is your homework for the next week of smoke, bro. I need one. I need you to narrow one. I'm gonna let you off the hook today. I'm about to give you mine.
What was that?
And it's hard. I'm like you. It depends on moods, but I think there's one album that one artist finally have gotten right that really focus on the black male experience in America, dealing with business, dealing with family, but also dealing with love. And I have to give it to Jay. To me is 444. If you listen to 444, you can literally turn that into a life coach workshop. And if you take a lot of the advice in 444, it will literally make you a better person, a better husband, a better business person. And I just never ever heard anybody put that together like that. And now there's a lot of people with a lot of fire, but that was really therapy. And I think especially for what we need right now in this time in post COVID, 444 is going to stand the time. You go play 444 tonight, roll with it.
That surprised me, maybe because
I know it did.
Because it came out in the last couple of years. The way you started off, I thought you was going to say Death Certificate by Ice Cube. The way
No,
you
it
started,
was nice though, but nah. Jay hit a different tone. Jay hit a different tone. So I got to give it up to Jay. Now, I love my Pac, I love my Outkast guy. I love all that other stuff, but I think when I talk about an album and what brought it and where our culture's at right now and where we should be talking about is real. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? On the gram, hold the money to your ear. We don't call that money over here. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That caused a lot of controversy. But we got to start talking to our younger guys, man.
We do.
They didn't like that. They didn't like it now, but it was some real talk, though.
Yeah, one of these younger rappers just got killed today. What is it? King Von. I don't know too much about him. But
rest in peace, bro.
Rest in peace. I don't know any of his songs. Like I'm a huge hip hop head, but like that type of music I kind of stay away from.
Yeah.
I'm really into battle rap, but like that I tend to stay away from. But R.I.P. The culture is crazy where a lot of these young brothers just get killed. A young brother would get killed and then they making diss songs about the dead rapper. It's just like, yeah, it's a new level there. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I know y'all hear the babies in the background. I'm about to get going so I can put them to bed. Yo, say what I mean. Yo, we here. Like, we're going to put it in the comment section. Yo, like, subscribe to our YouTube channels. Subscribe to our other, Say What I Mean YouTube channels. Help put us on the map. Starting next week, it's on full effect. We're bringing it. Join us next week, Weekly Smoke. If you like, share it, subscribe. Share it, subscribe. That's all I'm saying. What's your last bro?
Let me just end it with, definitely subscribe to Say What I Mean YouTube channel. I'm on Instagram for now. I've been an old stubborn man, but I'm finally on there, man. I'm making some videos on there. I'm starting to be active, on Instagram. You might, if you're lucky, you might see me in the gym pushing that weight up. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. But I'm on Instagram. Say What I Mean on Instagram as well. Say What I Mean Cast on Twitter. I'm on there now too. Say What I Mean page on Facebook. Just stay tuned with the movement. we gonna do some big things. And this channel, the Black Collaborative. Oh yeah, it's coming. We about to do some big things with it. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too, bro. All right, man. See you next week, man. Let's get it on.
All right,
All right,
peace.
bro. Peace.